Conditions are things that the player can have. So stuff like right now they can be slimed, which is slowed essentially. Other things I can think of is like being on fire, frozen, maybe
Yeah.
poisoned.
Yeah, things like damage over time.
Exactly. So the two things that I need to work out right now is essentially how to display them, like visually, and how to actually implement that. Well, one idea I had, I'll show you my idea first. Pretend this is the player. Let's say they're on fire. Like ideally, eventually we have like an animation as well, like showing they're on fire. But we also want just a visual way just to be like, what conditions does this thing have? So I imagine a little like token popping up with the flame on it.
Right.
It could also have another token that pops up. This one's like poisoned.
Do you think there'll be like a limit to how many effects any one thing can have?
I don't see why not. But then we've got, let's say, 10 different conditions
Yeah.
that we have in the game. We're going to have to start like putting them like this.
Yeah, that's most of what I'm thinking about.
Maybe we literally just have them like here, like just on the left side. And then also we can have them on the right side as well,
Yeah.
leaving the top three because realistically we could fit heaps in here. One thing that I thought, do they have set locations so the poison will always be here?
It probably makes it easier to read.
That's what I thought. Is it's visually you can just like quickly scan and be like, there's a green thing here. It's poisoned, so they just kind of pop out and in when they're activated. That's what I think makes most sense. So each token has all these nodes already on them, just turned on. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be an arrow.
Yeah.
Just turned off and like hidden within the thing, and then when they get activated, they kind of like they pop out and turn on.
Yeah.
Is that spending resources in the game that
Uh,
should be saved?
yeah, if there's like X amount of enemies on like a really big map and they've all got these extra nodes on them. The main idea is to like increase performance. Well, to not decrease performance rather.
That's why I'm thinking we just queue them from the stack when we don't need them.
Yeah.
There could be some way in which it's all just gotten from the same node, so it's not instantiating a new node, it's still just referencing the same bit in memory. The way I was doing it with the trees when we were working on our other game, where it's all just rendering the same tree.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, well, they're not going to change drastically or at all,
No.
really.
but if you're happy for me to at least start on this,
Sounds like a good plan.
okay.
Hello. Okay, I have a whiteboard. We've got poison, slimed, blind, and a light. You probably can't see this very well, but poison, and this might change, but poison will take damage each turn and reduce the poison by 1. So if you start with 5 poison, you take 5 damage, and then you have 4 poison. Slimed, your movement is halved, pretty basic. Blind means the enemies can't see the player, and vision is reduced to 1 for the player, so they can only see the tile immediately around them. A light, you take damage each turn, and I figure you can't stop being on fire unless you find some water, so... and that's what we're going to implement, so let's get into it. Like most things in this game that I go to add in, it actually ends up being kind of a lot easier than I expect. I think a lot of the ideas we come up with, they seem kind of complicated, but with most things, if you break it down, it is actually pretty simple. For conditions, it was essentially just 2 functions that give conditions and take conditions away, and then they just kind of do various things based on what they are. On the screen right now, I'm just making the poison condition, the little tab that will pop out, and you can see it here. This is what it looks like, at least right now, when you're poisoned. And this is what it looks like when all 4 are on there. It's obviously not perfect or very clear right now, but the logic is working in the back end, making it look at least semi-decent. Yeah, it took longer than doing the actual coding behind it. But we got there in the end. I think it's a good start, but obviously we've got a long way to go from making it in a way that I'm happy with. Currently in the nuclear apocalypse. Okay,
Ooh.
so first thing, we've added effects to all the conditions, as well as it now displays the condition you have. This one being poison, and the amount, 3. If we end the turn, does damage, 3 damage, and then goes down to 2. And remember what this looks like. Okay, this is poison.
Okay.
Now let me just quickly apply slime. This is slimed.
Okay.
Very similar to poison.
Just a little, but
The other 2 do look different, the other 2 conditions, but this is what leads me to my thought on how to change poisoned is with like this thing that I just created,
Yeah.
rather than having like bubbles, just having like this poison like image bloop, 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 popping up.
right. Okay, so like a similar effect, but
Yeah. As well as I want to, this is slimed, but we can use that as an example, add that little image to the token probably on the back, so you can quickly like identify what it is, and probably on the front as well with the number inside, just so you can, rather than using colors to identify what it is, you've also got a symbol to identify what it is. So we've got blind. Now blind is the one I'm least happy with. This is blind. I don't particularly hate it straight away, but it has like weird clipping issues on the numbers, and it needs something, but for now I'm happy with it just being like this because it does the job.
Does it actually do anything yet?
All the conditions, so poison, we saw poison. Slimed makes your movement distance halved.
Yeah.
Now, the way this would work, like right now I have the condition, but I haven't like ended the turn. It might need some tweaking actually to when it applies, but if we go to the next turn, it actually like comes into effect.
Yeah.
Enemies, this one won't attack me if I go next turn. It doesn't attack me because it doesn't know I'm there.
Okay.
And blindness just stays indefinitely for now, until we work out how you can remove blindness. Probably just a one turn kind of thing.
Eat like a carrot or something.
And then for a light, you're on fire. They're also on fire. And then you just take 1 damage each turn, and it can't be removed without water.
The visual for the flames makes it look a lot more painful than just 1 damage per turn.
I suppose we could have something where the amount of flames changes as well based on the number. That could be cool. My thought was maybe implementing some sort of new monster that creates like something on the ground. Just as we get another monster in and we contest tiles having the ability to give certain conditions. I'm gonna see. I'll see what I can do. I've got a little bit of time now, so I'm gonna draw something and see what I can come up with. But yeah, conditions are working for the most part. So just to show some final things that I've worked on. So there's a cheeky way I can turn flame on now. But this is what conditions on tiles now look like. Pretty happy with this one. But for example, as you can see, I've got no conditions on me. If we step on the fire, and then we come off the fire, we are now on fire, and it shows us we've got 1 bit of fire. Everything that we discussed and wanted for conditions is working. Obviously, we want more conditions in the game, but the back end is working for it, the front end works for it. It's very easy to add new conditions. Tiles can now have conditions, the player can have conditions, and enemies can have conditions. So this is gonna, I think, open up the game a lot to being able to come up with better strategies so you can push enemies into fire or various things like that, apply different effects. We ended up making the poison, these jars of poison. There's some layering issues, they kind of look like they're behind the player, but it does what it needs to. It shows that it's poisoned. Yeah, long way to go for actually getting it into a nice state, but it works. And we've got a lot more other stuff we need to get in the game before we perfect this, especially when so many things are changing. You don't want to commit too hard. But thank you for watching. If you would like to get access to some of our playtests, helping us test these things, as well as just giving ideas, and you can check the link for the Discord down below. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next time.